Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I want to talk about Stranger Things Season 2. Season 1, Episode 2, The Weirdo on Maple Street. Okay. So at this point, Will Byers is known to be missing. Joyce Byers, his mother, knows he's missing. Jonathan Byers, his brother, knows he's missing. Lonnie Byers does not know he's missing. All right. So Lonnie Byers is Will Byers' father. Okay. And this is where it gets interesting. So Lonnie is a deadbeat dad. Right. Joyce Byers is raising Will and Jonathan. Right. And honestly, and the show talks about this. She says that Jonathan has done a fantastic job raising himself. Now, this has given he has really done a fantastic job raising himself. Okay, and so Joyce loves him, but she doesn't spend needed cycles on Jonathan because he doesn't need it. He's strong and he's independent, right? And actually, good on him, man. That's really cool, right? But Joyce Byers has had to invest a ton of time and cycles and effort into Will Byers, right? So now why? Because Will is very sensitive, right? And I can tell you why. Will is a reader. Will is an imaginer. Will is an intellectual explorer. Now, actually, in 1983, I was 13 years old. Okay. Will Byers is, I think he's like a year behind them. So he's like 11 or 12 at this point. And he's having a rough time because in 1983, if you weren't a jock, the world didn't care, right? Like, and you were called a nerd openly. You got your books knocked out of your hand, and you were under a lot of strain and stress, right? So Will Byers, not only is a sensitive kid, but his father has abandoned him. His father has said to him, "You're a garbage human. I don't love your mother. I don't love you, and I'm supposed to come and take you to, like to go to the aquarium. I don't want to be bothered. I don't care about you. I don't want to be your dad," and just walks off. Right? Like he is a deadbeat dad. Right? Now at this point, this is a family crisis. Right? Jonathan realizes his brother is gone. Right? So he has to go to Will's father, Lonnie. He has to go to him. Why? Because there's a possibility that Will Byers went to him, right? A slim possibility. It's probably only about 5% chance, right? 95% chance he's ever going there. But Jonathan Byers needs to fix this problem fast. He knows his mother is extremely upset. She is. Will is her heart, right? Jonathan is her strength and her courage and her ally. Well, but Will is her heart. She loves him, right? And I will tell you, I am blown away by the astonishing portrayal of Joyce Byers by Winona Ryder. It really is the heart of the show. I really feel like there's so many great things in the show, but Joyce Byers she is incredible. She does such an incredible job. I was just so pleased with how well she did this. She does a great job as a mother who's been abandoned by a husband, right? As a wife who's been abandoned by a husband. Now, the reality is, yeah, this means a lot to me. I've been married for 33 years. 33 years. I take my obligations as a husband and father extremely seriously, right? And I promised, and so did Lonnie. He promised to never be apart. He vowed it, right? Like, he vowed it, and he broke his vow. He broke his vow as a father. He broke his vow as a husband, right? And he broke a cultural bond, right, as a father. And it is abominable what he did to Will Byers, right? So, but what's really incredible, right, is Will does have courage and he has the tenacity of a boy who has a father. Now, wait a second, Scott. He doesn't have a father. Lonnie has not been a father to him. Lonnie literally abandoned him. Jonathan Byers is going to find Lonnie because Lonnie abandoned Will. So how did Will Byers in episode 1 have the courage to pick up a .22 rifle to defend himself against the Demigorgon, right? Now he failed, right? Because his father wasn't physically there, right? Wasn't tangibly there, but there was a father there to Will Byers. He's not without a father, but the father is not who you expect, right? So when the Demigorgon came for Will Byers, he showed the courage of a boy who had been trained by his father, right? A monster comes for you, get a weapon, slay it. So who was the father that Will Byers had in 1983? Gary Gygax, right? His tangible father has abandoned him. But his intangible father, a man who had written what courage looks like, who had written how to slay monsters, who had written what arms to take up if a monster comes for you, ranged weapon, right? All that comes straight from Gary, right? So when we look at Stranger Things episode 2, what we really see is we see Will Byers' real father, right? His intangible father, who is a better father to him than his tangible father. And so while Lonnie does not understand Will Byers, where Lonnie does not value Will Byers, his real father, his intangible father, Gary Gygax, has prepared him to fight monsters, has prepared him to know the difference between a melee weapon and a ranged weapon, right? Has prepared him with courage, has prepared him with persistence, right? And so when in season 1, episode 1, Will Byers picks up a .22 rifle to defend himself against the Demigorgon, you are looking at a boy who is remembering his real father, Gary Gygax, right? A man who wrote himself into his life and supported him when Lonnie Byers would not, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.